a big corporate point of view, always the challenge is what value you bring by using those solutions. This is absolutely the question. So I just want to start with that value by showing the customer lifetime value, then go through the use cases. As Stuart left the meeting now, but like basically it is the main thing, how you can show the value that you can see that people tracking your organization, vice versa, other than people see it as a just solution like Teams or Zoom or different things. So how we can make it better, personalize, using the value to show that the real potential of AI. So if you go to next page, I will quickly start to present what I think about how AI deployment or integration might be possible in any company. So it will be really helpful. Charlotte, if you go to next page, I will quickly start. So I'm working in a retail space. So I'm working in like a commodity trading, retail, energy distribution, and also somehow insurance business in my current organization. We have 6 different portfolio companies. The most important thing, as Bain said, or Harvard Business Review said, of course, the most important thing, the input, like most important thing to retain your customers as much as possible, because like you are spending almost 70 to 100 pound or euro to just maybe sometimes acquire new customers while you are trying to handle this. Why you don't try to treat your customers better, provide them a better customer experience to keep them longer and increase their customer lifetime value to bring more profit to the company. This is the discussion today we are handling, and I think it is a good way to move forward. So, but how you could do this exceptional customer experience? We are trying to understand like to put some delights to customers, earn their loyalty, and of course grow their lifetime value by providing a better service to them. So it is all about AI. It is all about the customer experience for today's presentation. And if you go to next page, I will just start deep diving at how we do this business. So basically, like, what is the customer lifetime value for any company? There are multiple ways of, evaluating it, right? When you look at the customers, either you can collect revenue from their historical, service, agreements, or you can collect money from them in the future. But of course, we don't know how many months or how many, years they will stay with the business. So we call customer lifetime value, of course, by looking revenue minus cost. This is the gross margin side, and of course try to understand how many, like, as per customer, how much profit we can get from a single customer, then how we can retain them or acquire a new customer will absolutely affect my all customer lifetime value calculation. So basically, when you look at your P&L, what we are trying to do, we try to show incremental value that AI brings to the company, which is a great potential for the company. We directly assess this stuff to show business or top management to say that, like we built a churn model, we built a agentic AI web chat, platform or any type of platform that absolutely bring incremental value to the company. This is the way of, thinking. I always call customer lifetime value, customer lifetime value, customer lifetime value, which is I think, great showing a value about AI. So if you go to next page, really, when we look at the, revenue cost effect. So what we try to do as a company, I start with the formulation, as I said before. It is the components like acquisition, retention, revenue, and cost. What type of use cases we build to boost those activities, right? I try to assign some use cases. For instance, for acquisition, we use Gen AI marketing campaigns. So basically, we try to use our customer data and try to personalize our digital marketing solution by using Gen AI marketing campaigns. What we do really, for instance, we know the customer profile. Based on the customer segmentation, we try to use Gen AI to generate content and some visuals to attract them on digital channels. So this type of digital customer profiling helping us to acquire a new customer by spending less marketing money. Or for retention, what we do really, the CX problem is the biggest thing for any retail company. We try to do two things. One is like we, try to get all call records, just all records to transcribe them, then categorize them and try to understand what customer likes or what they don't like. So we try to give call volume plus the all categorization to show that customers are not happy about our pricing, our calls, our service level agreements, our call to response, what they don't like or what they like. For instance, they like our loyalty campaigns. We provide them all those insights to management. This absolutely help you to clean your table or increase some potential, activities you need to do more to acquire or retain more customers. So this is the one type of AI we use. And the second AI, of course, we are trying to predict who might be potential churner in the company. So basically, based on their triggers, we using lots of attributes, like almost 400 different attributes, to understand what might be customers' potential churn rate. So probability we are calculating. Based on this calculation, we list our customers, of course, anonymously, and try to attract them by taking right action. So, for instance, my like probability churn is higher than others. They try to give me a better discount, better calls, better customer experience because we have a limited resources, right? You have to distribute your limited resources based on the biggest problems to handle the biggest problems. So this is type of way we are working on it. The revenue side. So we are working on new product and services. We try to understand customer profiles and try to create a new design new product services for them by understanding their customer behaviors. Or what we do, we create AI powered next best action. So what we do really, we have marketing tools to orchestrate all customer activities. We have like Pega, Unica, lots of different marketing platforms. You directly orchestrate all your channels. But for instance, in your mobile application, when you join our app, what product service needs to be shown to you. This directly based on our AI, analytic models, with machine learning models. It provides you a better personalization, better prioritization based on your needs. For instance, you join a new home and you need a kitchen appliance insurances. How we can understand you? We can use multiple, data sources. We can track your Rightmove or Zoopla, activities. Based on all those different things, we can propose you a new because we might say that you change your location, then get your new insurance, services, which is £10 or £20 of type of personalization we do. The last one, transcript analytics. I think we talk lots of LLM stuff in this session. So basically, we use agentic AI automations days and nights to look at our all call web chat data. Of course, all of them are anonymized. So based on those activities, we try to again create some root cause analysis. We all about agentic AI in retail business. I think the most value come from the customer operations, customer fulfillment teams. So this call center activities will help you to understand your customers by using transcript by using LLM model is the great area to invest. So these are the like components of customer lifetime value, as I said. And if you move to next page, I want to just again, like show you a basic formula, like calculation. How we do this? Again, I told a couple of things, but basically we really try to understand the margin that we can calculate to get from the customer. We are looking the customer lifespan, how many months they will stay with us. This is another, prediction AI model for us. Margin as well. We are forecasting using some regression and time series models to predict how much customers can bring to the business from a merger from single individual level. So we multiply them to calculate a single, customer lifetime value, and then we multiply with the number of customers. Then you try to get how much incremental gross margin you can bring to the business. So this is a hard thing. Every people, think that this is hard to calculate in most of the companies, but we solve this problem really focusing on the below items. So we got some financial assumption from company, like we work on the profit, margins, average order values, etc. from the company side. We try to look at the competitive landscape and like understand what's happening, like what our competitors do for this calculation, or we look at the customer behavior as well to just formulate this basic activity calculation for our business, and we start applying this customer lifetime value for each use cases for the change management. Whenever we go to business, we are just bringing customer lifetime value. We say we will bring incremental 2 million euro next year if we apply our churn model, 3 million if we apply our acquisition model. Always value comes first before AI models. Otherwise, people see you just a technology department rather than commercial department which use AI. So this kind of analysis. And if you go to next page, please. So basically, like I think key takeaways, if you look at this picture, we try to like focus on three areas in retail business, like data transformation. So basically, we are trying to build a single customer view for each customer. Stuart said, I think, data are siloed. So what we try to do, we try to bring all customers' data together, which will absolutely call a data transformation. then apply high personalization experience to those customers to improve their life cycle. The second thing, we try to work on predicts and prescribes things to retention and revenue thing. So we try to understand, forecast customer behaviors and engage with them right time and right customers. So basically try to take care of them by using AI. And the last one, I think, also focus area for improving our improving our processes in the company. Lots of things happening, lots of automation needed, and thanks to agentic AI, we are using those intelligent automation profiles. Right now, lots of out there companies, they are doing those like UTPAT or ServiceNow, or lots of companies out there. They are doing lots of automation things, but thanks to open source LLM models, we try to also internalize our automation to improve our customer experience without many dependencies, external, companies. So these kind of three things are helping us today to improve the customer experience. But I just want to keep it not longer. I'm happy to answer if you have any other questions, and hope it is insightful.
Very insightful, Ulas. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's a very clear example around how an organization really tap into their data, the customer data. We suffered, I think, from an era where we used to only focus as a marketing team, if you like, a function, one metric, because this is what we've been trained to use. So survey metrics, for example, going after our customers after each transaction and try to ask them about our evaluation, right? So do you like, our offer, for example, if you think about new products and services in your example, and the customer give you 9 out of 10 and 10, then organization capture this information and say, oh, that's our loyal customer. But how did you know he's loyal? If you think about the behavioral, like you link this to the behavioral data you've been talking about, like customer life value and etc., the customer might leave you next time when your competitors provide a cheaper price, right? So how the interesting that you've been talking about your presentation, the way I always call it, how you connect attitudinal data, emotional, qualitative data coming from our customer service, root cause analysis and stuff. And the nice things about customer segmentation and profiling and behavioral of our customers through the lifetime of engagement with us. And that's helped us to really, like you said, predict whether the customer is churn and whether the customer is actually loyal to us. And that 360 view of the customers, that's really nice to see in this area. I guess my question here is how long it take you to connect all these data streams with the big established organization, demonstrate the value. Obviously, you need an investment. How many team you have there? How many models you got there? And how to make a coherent way on it as well. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Let me share a thing. This company has 20,000, employees, and we are right now almost 160 people. We hired them in the last 12 months. Why we did it so quick? Because when you look at the top management objectives, they have always short-term, targets to hit. So when you look at AI transformation, it is long-term to it, right? It doesn't have, for instance, data is siloed. To bring all data together, we hired data engineering internally rather than getting the support from the technology departments to just acquire all data together to create a single customer view. If you don't have data, you can't build any solution. People, because of that reason, always any solution becomes a POC rather than the real, AI solution in any company. So basically, what we did, we built like almost 30, data engineering team. We have AI product owners, econometricians, etc., like almost 30 people. We have data scientists, almost 40 people. We have a BI organization as well. So if we want to be successful in any company, we need to, I think, own data end to end. So we are owning data engineering, feature engineering. We have data scientists to build a machine learning modeling. We have translators, AI product owners to talk with business units to make sure that data scientist doesn't have any politics. They have a free work to work on the technical stuff. Then we have reporting functions because management tracks customer acquisition or retention every day. If you keep these, dashboards, if you keep these activities, then you can just streamline all the data analytics, stuff. For instance, everybody tracks NPS numbers in any company, right? NPS, a net promoter score, increase or decrease. what we look at it, we saw that 0, 1, 2 givers, deep detractors, are more churner than the rest of it. We bring a new KPI to the business to track deep detractor rates across the business. What then you need to do? You need to do descriptive analytics and you need to work with data engineering. So when you put a new KPI, you create a workload for the rest of your business. So this type of things works very well at this right now. Knock to the table. So next time, let's see what will happen. But it is really working with this operating model.
And I would follow with that question is obviously you mentioned your team and yourself try to build the right KPIs for the business to enable them to take the right decision. So in the product and services, some of our products not working because of these reasons, coming from customer service complaining a lot, surveys telling us, that customer doesn't buy this service anymore because of this and this and that. I think the follow-up questions, how long you're exactly, probably you have like dashboards and platforms that your executive looking at from their different. So the financial, chief officer of the, can look to numbers. The marketing chief officer and his team or her team can look to different numbers and etc. So how did you manage to build the consensus across executives to look to these KPIs? That's I think one question. I think the second follow-up question are really this has become their day-to-day routine. So when they uh, first thing in the morning, typically the routine might be I will as a CEO or a CFO, I would like to see the number today, for example. And are you monitoring this as well? And how that can help you to improve these KPIs to show the businesses this is a continuation and this is a future we do. So it would be nice to hear your story here, about the, connecting this to the executive team.
Of course, like Mohammed, just what we realize really as a team when we look at this AI transformation in a type of project, we see that when you stay too much technical, it becomes like a hard business to manage because people don't want to talk about complex things. People wants to like top management, they have limited time, 30 minutes with you. They don't want to understand which LLM you are using. They just want to know whether we know the customer problems or we are using it. So AI is an enabler like other stuff for them. It is not a special thing. When sometimes we work in this space, we think that it will change the world. But no, like there are lots of enablers. AI is one of them. So we should accept. Second thing, alignment, alignment, alignment. We always try to be in their agenda every day. So we are inviting them to university partnerships. We try to create some upskilling programs for them to learn as well because it's continuous learning. We try to join strategy meetings and try to put some AI, for instance, like strategy meetings tells we need to acquire a more customer, we need to enter a new market or new space. We are bringing potential topics in that discussions. Then everything starts from that activity. Then you are in the agenda. They are coming with feedback. This is the area. The second thing, consensus is a so much hard thing to handle because although your numbers are correct, sometimes politics affects your success stuff. Change management all about the managing the politics in my opinion because like what is hardest thing with the AI? You always try to bring incremental value. Think about that like the person in the current department building or managing the customer segmentation almost more than 15 years in the same company. You are going there, you are telling that you are using Excel and some guesstimates. I want to use my data scientist to handle your problem rather than 10 days they can do it in 2 hours. Do you think that your AI project will be successful? Absolutely no. What is
Yeah.
happening? You have to, when you try to build any AI use cases, when you try to sell any AI use cases, you shouldn't be seen as a threat. People should find something in it, right? They should say, okay, I'm learning, I'm getting more visibility, I'm upskilling myself, or I'm not going to be redundant. So these four criterias will success your change management in any organization going forward. So sorry, lots of organizational behavior things we are talking, but really AI success is very depends on the organizational challenges.
Yeah, and I guess this is, I mean, I like your analogs about how to, and I think this is one of the key questions came as well over the chat, the upskill people, I guess, right? So the worry and the fear that we're hearing from employees that are coming to their news. even in the tech world and developers now, when I don't know, it's like Mark Zuckerberg came out recently and said that AI basically will take the coders and developer in a year, right? We don't need any developer and coder. Obviously, that can shake industry and shake people saying, "Oh, this is happening to the programmers and developers in our world. What will happen to me as a person?" In finance, for example, who is doing a lot, who I used to do a lot of Excel sheets and a lot of numbers and stuff like this. So I guess the question is like, upskilling people in the right direction, like you were saying, university partnership, courses, meetings, strategics, hackathons and activities. A lot of organizations tap into these different change management or change, if like innovation breakdown to help organization. We're not in a firing place. We are trying to upskill and see where we can help you and augment you in your business. And this is to enable you to be starting to elevate your skills and starting to do your tasks better and efficient as well. So skilling as well. This is a big thing is now. I mean, even in academia world, is the always deep research and stuff like this. Is our world now as an academic will start to become obsolete in 10 years because there are might be an Asians does our research. So what is your thoughts here? How you balance from the business skills? Um, Even myself, when I talk to, I'm thinking about my kids, what they should do in the future.
Like, m- again, but I might be very, very biased, but I think like a monopoly will be right. Like I feel that like people who have a more intellectual capacity and education, etc., will become much more a higher level in the hierarchy. Why? Like as you said, like as Max Zuckerberg or the Sam Altman said, the AI will bring a prosperity to the world. So people have much more free time. We don't need to work more. We will have our GDP, etc., will increase. So then what will differentiate us, right? Maybe intellectual, cultural things and some maybe institutes who are giving some approvals about your intellectual capacity or your culture. This is the because of that reason universities are great partners still in today's world. So what we do relay when we look at the resume of any people for an executive, what we see their education, we see their experiences, then we see some social activities, right? So for hobbies and other things. So when we try to do upskilling, really, we absolutely follow the university things because it will help executives' resume as well. So then what you can bring again, have a great partnership with Cambridge or any type of university. They comes together with a very intellectual, people, transparent, who can share their voice easily without any politics, which an amazing way to do. So this is the way we are, try to follow up. So it's absolutely. The other than this, when we look at the future, do we have a job? This is very, again, more common questions. Like in my opinion, we will not have a job really. Like why? This is because, like as you said today, we had a conversation with you. Like I'm trying to do PhD right now, so this journey is starting. I'm asking like 5 years later when I finish my paper, is it will be still valid? Like while Gemini, try to push everything is better. In my opinion, no. I might be biased, but what we could do, we can always try to catch the trend, right? This will be the way of doing always. So there is nothing to do.
Yeah. I mean, we always has to come to the basics because again, the hype of this technology is huge now, given the news that coming around it. But we know, I mean, even Stewart and Abby will talk a little, and yourself as well. There is still a lot of lack of a capability that we're not there yet, right? So that concept of AGI, some, a conscious organization, sometimes in agentic world they call it, that we will have a very autonomous organization, that we have a marketing AI, financial AI, that done our work. I think we are far, far away from there. At the end of the day, large language model for the people joining us today, it's just a prediction of the next token. Um, yeah.
Just last thing, because this is very, very relevant to you. Like I had a session with very senior executive from London Stock of Exchange 3 months ago. I asked this question. So there will be no like the information will be symmetric, right? When something happened in Asia, It will directly be learned by any markets, etc. There will be no missing information. Everything will be transparent. Do we have a share markets? Like, do we have a exchange or market to buy and sell share prices? I think so. No, like what will then these financial markets will be in the future rather than us? So
Yeah, that's true. Vabe, I saw that you raised questions. Raise your hand, sorry.
Sorry, I have a question over here on this. I mean, we have heard Mark Zuckerberg and many other industry leader, big fan by the way, but I do have this question of the company's leaders who are saying you will not require any developer by end of this year. Can they take a pledge that they will not have any developer in their company by end of this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think
So we have a thing have your own dog food first before we start making these claims. Because I'd be very, very keen to see working with developers over here sending these kind of chill spines. Maybe that would be the case in 15, 20 years from now. Maybe that would be in 10 years from right now. We know that Gen AI is far more intelligent than a single human compatibility. But can I please ask all the leaders who are saying you don't require any developers to make their company developer free first before they make these claims? And what does everybody think about that? If the deadline is for the end of this year, so I hope that I don't see developers in those companies by end of this year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I agree, Vabe. It was I think there is a moral, if you like, from these thought leaders, right? Given that the people following them and they following their tech, if you like, you know, behavior as well when it comes to these kind of arguments. It has to be backed up somehow. Because again, that's shaking again the industry in general, making people think as well in education, right? So, computer science, for example, departments here are, you know, what we're going to do. You know, it's like if they're saying there is no any more computer science developer in the world, you know, how we can change our education and etc. And that's the skill question that we talk about. Yeah, it's really fascinating, I think, time that we see a lot of trajectory power of the large language model and AI, and obviously it's a clear use case in coding and the way I call it as well, accessibility. So people now can instruct a model to do a quick app or a quick statistical, like Ulas was mentioning about statistical models. You as well, Vabe, in your agentic statistical models become more easier than actually you have to run a hard-coded, you know, model and architecture. You have to build it by yourself, which is, I guess, this is giving a lot of power for innovation. But that doesn't limit human, I guess, when it comes to is still the one that instructing this model to do these innovative things. We didn't see how this model become an innovator by itself, although there is a call from tech. You know, this is will be the future, but still we are far a little bit from that maturity so far, based on the technology that we have at the moment, I guess. Um, very good presentation. Thank you so much, and very great questions, Ulas. So we'll have to move.